before the world stirs, before the messages arrive, before anyone asks anything of you, there is a brief and sacred stillness, a doorway of silence that most people walk past without even noticing. We wake up already carrying yesterday's weight, unfinished conversations, lingering worries, the quiet tension we never released. And without realizing it, we drag all of that into a brand new morning that was meant to be a clean slate. But in Buddhist wisdom, the morning is not just a routine. It is a return, a moment to come home to yourself before the world pulls you in 100 different directions. The first words you whisper inward set the tone, the texture, and the direction of your entire day. They are the seeds. Your mind is the soil. So today, we plant 5 gentle truths, 5 reminders that realign your heart, steady your breath, and guide your energy toward clarity and compassion. Take a slow breath. Feel the space around you soften. Let's begin where all peace begins, inside you. If this message speaks to you, remember to like the video, leave a small note in the comments, and subscribe so more souls can walk this path of morning peace with us. 1. I am here. I am alive. This moment holds everything. The very first breath you take in the morning is like a door quietly opening, inviting you into a moment that has never existed before. Before memory wakes up, before worry remembers your name, there is this single inhale, pure, untouched, perfectly present. And in Buddhist wisdom, this present moment is the only place the mind can truly stand. Everything else is either a shadow of what has passed or an echo of what has not yet arrived. The human mind is much like a small boat on open water. When it drifts too far into yesterday's tides or tomorrow's imagined storms, it becomes unsteady, restless, easily overturned. But when anchored in the now, anchored in breath, it becomes steady again. This is why the first few seconds of your morning matter so deeply. They are your anchor point. So, sit up gently, let your spine rise like a soft line of dawn, and let your feet touch the floor with awareness, as if greeting the earth itself. Take a slow breath in, feel your chest expand, and rest one hand over your heart. Let the warmth of your own touch remind you that you are here, alive, held by this very moment. Whisper silently or aloud, "This breath is enough, and so am I." Let those words settle into the center of your being. This simple act is not about perfection or forced positivity. It is a reset, a return. When you choose to fully inhabit one single moment, you loosen the grip of fear about the future and soften the knots of regret tied to the past. You give yourself permission to begin again. The truth is, you don't need the perfect morning, the perfect emotions, or the perfect version of yourself to be at peace. You only need to arrive, right here, right now. Let this moment be your anchor, your quiet awakening. Begin each morning with your presence, and everything else will find its rightful place. 2. Peace cannot be taken from me, only given away. The day will try to reach you long before you're ready for it. A notification buzzes before sunrise. A sharp tone slips into someone's voice. A message carries tension you didn't ask for. Or a stranger's impatience brushes against your mood. These moments arrive quickly, abruptly, and almost always without invitation. Most people assume that these small disruptions steal their peace, as if calm were something fragile that could be snatched away by noise or circumstance. But here is the shift in perspective that Buddhist psychology teaches. None of these things can enter your inner world unless you allow them in. Stress doesn't walk through your door on its own. You open it the moment you react without awareness. Suffering doesn't come from the event. It comes from the meaning your mind attaches to it, the story it spins, the emotional chain reaction that follows. In reality, your mind is like a still lake at dawn. Wind may pass overhead, branches may ripple the surface, but the lake decides whether it holds the disturbance or lets it fade. The world can blow its gusts, but the waves only rise if your awareness stirs them. This is the quiet power you overlook each morning. So before the day accelerates, whisper inward. Today, I choose my response before the world chooses it for me. Let that choice guide the way your breath moves, how your shoulders soften, how your eyes meet difficulty. Choosing peace does not mean pretending everything is fine, nor does it mean avoiding hard conversations, responsibilities, or conflict. It means entering them with a steady mind instead of a shaken one. It means speaking clearly instead of reacting impulsively. It means remembering that no situation outside you can dictate the state of your inner world unless you hand over the authority. When frustration rises, pause. When someone else's negativity bumps into your space, pause again. Feel the moment stretch, even if only for the length of one breath. That breath is enough to shift the entire trajectory of your reaction. And in that shift, you reclaim your power. Peace is not something the world gives, and therefore it is not something the world can take. It is a home within you that only unlocks when you turn the handle. You are the keeper of the gate. Peace leaves only when you open it. 3. Today, I will walk with kindness toward myself. All day long, long before anyone else speaks to you, it is your own voice you hear the most. The quiet commentary running beneath your thoughts, the whispers of doubt, the replay of mistakes. The invisible expectations you place on yourself. This inner voice walks beside you from the moment you open your eyes until you fall asleep again. And strangely, many people receive more kindness from strangers than from the one person who accompanies them every second of their lives, themselves. We forgive others quickly, yet hold our own missteps like sharp stones in our pockets. We comfort friends when they stumble, yet call ourselves foolish for the very same things. This is why self-compassion is not a luxury. It is a practice of survival, a spiritual discipline, a fundamental part of Buddhist wisdom. The Buddha taught that compassion must encompass all beings, and the being closest to you is the one living inside your own skin. So when you wake and your mind immediately drifts towards something you should have done better, pause the moment it surfaces. Place your hand gently on your chest, as if you were offering comfort to someone you love. Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, release the tight grip of judgment. Let it melt, even slightly. Then whisper to yourself, I'm learning. I'm allowed to be human. Feel how those words soften the body. Feel how they dissolve the rigidity of perfection. You aren't meant to wake up flawless. You're meant to wake up alive, growing, unfolding. Every mistake from yesterday is not an indictment, but an invitation. An invitation to understand yourself better, to see the patterns beneath your reactions, to move forward with a little more awareness. Practicing kindness toward yourself is not self-indulgent. It is how you build emotional resilience. It is how you become someone who responds rather than collapses, someone who grows rather than repeats the same pain. Throughout the day, notice when the old voice returns. You're not enough. You should be stronger. Why did you do that? Each time, interrupt the spiral with compassion. Meet that voice the way you would meet a child who is frightened or overwhelmed, with gentleness, not severity. Over time, this softening becomes a habit. You stop being your own critic and become your own refuge. And when you treat yourself with greater kindness, the world reflects that energy back to you. Interactions become lighter, challenges less sharp, and life feels more spacious. Begin the day by softening your tone toward yourself, and watch the world soften too. 4. What I seek is already living inside me. Most mornings, people wake up with a quiet sense of lack. There's not enough time, not enough certainty, not enough success, not enough of whatever they believe will finally make them feel whole. This feeling slips in so naturally that it seems like truth. But in Buddhist understanding, this sense of not enough is not a reflection of reality. It is a mirage created by craving, by the mind's habit of reaching outward instead of looking inward. We chase what we think we're missing, unaware that the chase itself is the very thing that keeps us feeling empty. Imagine a lantern covered in dust. If the glow seems dim, it's not because the flame is weak. It's because the covering has been left untouched. The light has always been there, unwavering, waiting. In the same way, your strength is not gone. Your clarity is not absent. Your patience has not vanished. These qualities have lived inside you since the beginning. They simply get obscured by fear, overthinking, comparison, and the constant pressure to meet expectations that were never yours to hold. Every morning is an invitation to brush off a bit of that dust. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, what inner quality can I use today? Perhaps today calls for courage, the kind that helps you speak honestly or take one small step you've been avoiding. Perhaps today calls for gentleness with others or with your own tired heart. Perhaps today calls for clarity, the ability to see what truly matters and let go of the noise. The point is not to force anything. It is to recognize that the qualities you admire in others already exist in you. They are not borrowed traits. They are native to your being. When you stop looking outward for the next solution, next validation, next piece of evidence that you are worthy, something remarkable happens. You begin to feel the quiet fullness that has been there all along. It is easy to forget this. The world constantly tells you that happiness waits out there, in praise, achievement, beauty, success. But the teachings remind us that fulfillment blossoms inward first, and everything external is merely a reflection of the state of your inner garden. So today, before seeking answers outside yourself, pause and listen to the guidance already alive within you. Trust that you carry more wisdom than you realize. Trust that you hold more resilience than you give yourself credit for. Trust that every seed you need has already been planted in the soil of your spirit. Nothing is missing. You are simply rediscovering what was always yours. 5. Be gentle with yourself. You are still becoming. We live in a world that expects us to operate like machines, efficient, flawless, endlessly productive. And without noticing it, we begin expecting the same from ourselves. We wake up and immediately demand emotional perfection, instant clarity, unwavering motivation, and absolute control over every thought and reaction. But you are not a machine. You are a living, breathing being in the middle of becoming. Your growth is organic, not mechanical. And like all living things, you blossom in rhythms, not straight lines. Think of a lotus rising from the mud. It does not push itself to open faster. It does not shame itself for being a closed bud yesterday. It does not compare its pace to the flower beside it. It unfolds when it is ready, never early, never late. Your journey is no different. Old habits won't vanish the moment you recognize them. Wounds you thought you had healed may resurface when life touches them again. And some mornings, even after weeks of progress, you may feel tired for no clear reason. This isn't failure. This is being human. This is the body and mind recalibrating as you grow. So when the weight of self-pressure appears, pause. Take a full breath in and let your shoulders soften as you exhale. Remind yourself gently, go slowly. Growth has its own timing. There is wisdom in your pace, even when it feels uneven. There is meaning in your pauses, even when the world tells you to hurry. And there is beauty in your imperfections, because they reveal where the light can enter. Practicing gentleness doesn't mean giving up or lowering your standards. It means understanding that inner transformation requires softness, patience, and spaciousness. Harshness contracts the mind. Gentleness allows it to open. When you soften toward yourself, you create an inner environment where insight can bloom, where resilience can strengthen, where compassion can deepen. Every time you choose patience over pressure, you are watering the roots of your future self. Every time you offer yourself understanding instead of criticism, you loosen the knots that have held you back. And every time you honor your own timing, you align with the quiet intelligence of your own becoming. So today, give yourself room to unfold. Let your progress be tender. Let your heart be steady. and allow yourself to move at the pace your soul can actually sustain. Gentleness is not weakness. It is the soil where transformation takes root. 6. Let me be a source of peace. Today, ask yourself a simple question as the day begins. If my presence could soften someone's day, would I choose to? It's a gentle inquiry, but it carries profound spiritual weight. In Buddhist wisdom, peace is never meant to be a private treasure locked inside one person's heart. It is meant to ripple outward, touching others in quiet, unspoken ways. Inner calm is not a destination you reach for your own comfort alone. It is a gift that naturally expands when you carry it with awareness. Imagine that every person is a candle. A single flame, steady and warm, can light hundreds of others without losing a drop of its own brightness. Peace works the same way. When you walk into a room with a centered mind and a softened heart, people feel it. You change the atmosphere without saying a word. You shift the emotional temperature around you simply by choosing to stay rooted when others waver. So each morning, begin with small practices that allow your inner light to extend beyond yourself. As you meet the first person of the day, whether it's someone you love, a coworker, or a stranger, send them a silent blessing. May you feel safe today. When you speak, slow your voice just a little. Calm speech encourages calm energy. When you listen, listen fully, without planning your reply or judging the other person's emotions. Presence is one of the greatest acts of compassion. And when challenges appear, when irritation rises, or when someone's tension spills into your space, pause before reacting. Imagine setting the situation down instead of gripping it. Choose gentleness, even when sharpness would be easier. These small acts accumulate. They create a field of ease around you. They remind others, by example, that peace is possible even in stressful environments. And the more you offer peace, the more deeply you embody it yourself. This is the paradox of compassion. What you give away strengthens you. What you extend becomes who you are. Peace is not something you hold. It is something you offer. So let your morning intention be clear and sincere. Let me be the calm that others can rest in. Carry that intention into each conversation, each step, each breath. A peaceful person silently teaches others how to return to themselves. A peaceful presence steadies the world in ways that are invisible but deeply felt. Today, may you choose to be one of those people, one who plants seeds of ease wherever you walk, one whose presence lightens the air, one who reminds others, simply through being, that gentleness is still alive in the world. Be the one who spreads peace. Be the one who carries the flame. As you move into the rest of your day, carry these truths with you, not as rules, but as gentle companions. Each breath is a return, each moment a chance to realign, each small act of awareness a step toward a calmer, wiser, more grounded you. Transformation doesn't arrive all at once. It unfolds quietly through these simple morning intentions. If today felt different, even in the slightest way, let that be a sign that your inner world is shifting toward peace. And if this message brought you clarity, comfort, or a sense of coming home to yourself, I invite you to support the channel. Give this video a like, share your reflection in the comments, and subscribe so more hearts can walk this path with us. Your presence here matters. Your practice matters. And your peace matters. Let's continue growing together.